Hello. I thought it was recording. Hi. We're going to talk about oil and gas and the byproducts well, we won't name all the byproducts, but the byproducts of oil. And I just wanted to say that right now that if you think back, because a lot of us that are in our 50s, we can remember, but our children have no clue that at one time you get your gas was like 10 cents a gallon, and a bottle of Coke. You want to drink a Coca-Cola, 20 cents. No, a nickel. It was a nickel. You get a pack of cigarettes for 25 cents a pack. Now, if you look at today, after the 70s, after we had the Carter was in office, so oh, we won't go back and exactly what year that was, but Carter was office, and we had the Reaganomics, and all this was to inflate the price of oil to now to where you could slowly, and that was one thing they loved the black community, they loved the African community, because we kept paying for it when the cigarettes went from 25 cents to pack to 30 cents a pack to 50 cents a pack to 60 cents a pack to where it got to be $1 when gasoline went from 10 cents a gallon to 15 cents a gallon to 30 cents a gallon to 60 cents a gallon to where we were just in the 2000 and 8 in 2007 where gas prices went up to like almost $5 in the United States. So and we've seen this inflationary growth caused by the oil, which we never did have to use oil or anything to run cars, you know. But like but they wanted you to think that no, we didn't steal all our modern technology from the natives that was in America. It's just like this other story I heard about what happened to Crazy Horse and is that in the tribe is that they didn't know that the white people were cannibals. And the only thing that they really in America that you can really tell is about in Utah when they have that where they do steak. But that was sort of also like they didn't want you to know that they ate white people. Anyway, so the thing was they killed them all because they well, see, they had just like had the Russians come here and they was showing off, and the Indians were all excited. No, you're killing too much. You don't need, you don't have to kill all of them. They're like, what's wrong with you? So they turned around like, we're gonna rule everything because and that's why they killed them. That was because their food supply. And one of the things that they would like to do is like get you very young. It's like the very I digress a little bit, but the very young don't know about like the being a draft. I see my mom and dad have to go through the knowledge of being that their loved ones could get drafted, like their sons or whatever, and but that's not the point anymore. And I see with my own eyes slowly the because of them raising the price of oil, uh, um, that the price of everything else went up, and that's where we at today. I mean, while everything else is up, and like in this community, you get the black community to really hurt themselves the most. Like they're going along with because we got Republicans. They're going along with um, let me tell you something. Like the first thing they try to do is around here, the black people is like, well, why do you get something for them? Or how do you get this? Or how do you get that? I mean, I haven't got something for nothing, and I didn't get anything. I got by doing like anything that caused anybody else discomfort. So they couldn't comprehend it anyway. But anyway, so you can see that our gas prices, and I guess you got to think like cars, like the stuff that comes out of the jet engines, kerosene. They also come from crude oil. It's like kerosene or whatever, and it burns really bright. And the natives, they used to use the oil, the crude oil to bubble up off the ground to light their houses and use for heat and everything. And that was one of the main reasons why they had to kill all the native Indians, because um, it's one thing to sit in missionaries or pedophiles and to get the children when they're very young, so they'll think that the only way that you could discipline is to whoop the that 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 women are very sexually deviant. Bring in the they're making a lot of money off of sex, and I'm not trying to down the Christian or the Catholic in any way, but I've seen the devastation with my own eyes. I've seen the damage that they do to kids with my own eyes, and I also seen and listened to the hopelessness and like, oh, this is the way it's always been, and it's the only way, women always had to been. And no, this is not the way it was. It's not the way it always was. And in a lot of European places, yes, they was making money. It was big money in war off of prostitution. You could also see in modern times, if you look with the Japanese, how they just apologize for using their women at wartime as a way to make money. That's just like United States using uh, well, you can see the oil as a means of currency. So we never had to use oil to run cars. We never had to use it. We always had other means, such as we always had the sun, we always had the rain, and we always had the water. Like if you look at Niagara Falls, that's water that falls generates electricity. So we already have all these other solutions, and we already know that by raising the price of how much gas a barrel of gas costs, that goes global because of the transportation. You know, and so that's how come we have movies that predict such an ugly future where it's just death and devastation, because they know that if they continue to suck the oil out of the ground, they're basically sucking the life out of this planet. They already had destroyed most of our food supply, and that's another thing. It's not that we have overpopulation; it's that by them trying to control our food, they have really decreased the food, because the way the planet was, it was going to take care of everything that came on. There was not going to be no population explosion. You know, um, it's just the way we do our food. I mean, when I know kids that never had a grape that had a seed in it. You know what I'm saying? They never bit a grape in half and had that seed there. They never had an orange that had seeds in it. So even the bananas have bigger seeds in it, which the seeds always gave it a richer, nuttier, flavor. Yeah, maybe you had to spit it out, but there was something delicious about that we don't have anymore. And you can't find anymore. So I guess basically what I'm going to say is that you know this this is by design. We don't have to. We never had to only use oil. We never did. You know, and um, the artificial. It's good that, and also and the Chinese with the yang and all the stock market. Last week because of the yang. Of course, they got to keep it down because the United States is no longer in manufacturing. We're not making. We're not. The cotton is not here anymore. Basically, what they came over here and everything that was wonderful, like the cotton that we grew, is in India, Indonesia. You know, Agent Orange. Remember that in Vietnam, they sprayed all of that. So they those people had to go to capitalism. And this is the first thing that I notice when I see them. They take a group like the Vietnamese and all that, and they go in there and they Agent Orange, all this stuff, basically using Roundup, spraying all over and killing everything. But the first thing they give them, like when they're like, okay, we're out of the jungle, we can't sell our wild pigs anymore because y'all killed everything out there. We don't have our fruits and the vegetables that we naturally eat. And then they naturally come in there with oil wells and pollute the water. So a lot of their fishing, so then they have to go and buy stuff from the white people and whatnot. And the first thing they teach them to sell is their body, because they're like, okay, what are we gonna sell? You just took everything, stole everything, or poisoned everything. And they're like, okay, sell your children. And that's one of the biggest problems that we have, is that we have hurt our grown-ups by hurting them as children. But in other words, there's no reason why we're this dependent on oil. There's no reason why we have a population explosion if it wasn't for how we treat our animals, how we treat our humans. But anyway, excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom.